We're on. Just wait for some
Anybody there?
people to join us.
Anybody? It's a bit rainy outside here. Not in here, but it is outside. It's pouring down. I just got back off holiday. It's still pouring down.
Was it more rainy in England or more rainy here, Chase?
It's more rainy here. It was snowing when I got to England. It was snowing. It was very cold and it was -4.
Hello, hello everybody. Welcome.
Hello.
Back to our first Wednesday live stream in a few weeks. We have been unbelievably busy, and with the absence of the wonderful Tracy, it makes it hard sometimes.
I've been away for 4 weeks.
4 weeks. Tracy was all over England.
Yes.
A holiday. Did you have fun, Trace? Was it good?
I did. I had a lovely time. We had snow. It was -4. We had lots of snow. Then we had rain and wind and all kinds, but it was freezing cold. I forgot how cold it got in the winter in the UK because I haven't been back home in the winter since I moved here 18 years ago. So I was glad to get back to the hot rain that we're having at the minute as opposed to the cold rain in the UK.
Hello, hello everyone. We've got hello from the US.
Hello.
From Louisiana.
Hello, Louisiana.
Hello from Tennessee. Well,
Tennessee.
Everybody.
My sister used to live in Tennessee.
We're very fortunate we get people from all over the world come here and tune into these live streams just to watch us, Trace, to ask you some questions.
Wow, there you go.
Sorry about the late start, by the way, guys. We had some technical difficulties.
And we've got a thunderstorm. I think that's hampering the signal.
We do have a thunderstorm going on right now. But you guys know the drill. We are back. We are here to answer your questions. So let's get into it.
Get into it.
Thank you for tuning in, guys. And I'm sorry for the past few weeks that we have missed. But as you said, very, very busy. Tracy was on holidays, but now we are back. So Tracy, off the start, we have a very straightforward question. So what do we do in here?
In here.
In here.
Okay, in here is the heart of the business. This is the mortuary. This is where we prepare the deceased people that come into our care to get them ready for their viewings or for their services. So in this area we will wash, you know, we have our hose where we actually wash the body. We'll prepare the body, we'll dress, and we'll encoffin the body ready for the services. So this is where it all happens in here. This is where we care for the dead bodies, and this is where we care for all of the deceased, and this is where embalming happens, reconstruction if we need to do that on a deceased if they've been in a bad accident, things like that. It all happens in this room here. So yeah, this is what this room is.
We have a couple of questions. Tracy, what are these bags to either side of you?
These are actually, do have some deceased people in. They have just arrived. We're actually very busy as well today, but we're trying to do this live stream in between working in here as well. So these people have just been brought into care now, both of these people, and these people are waiting to be washed, dressed, and coffined. As soon as I finish this live stream, I will be back to caring from this. So we're having a bit of a break because it's been busy this morning. So a break and we get into this live stream, but I will be getting to these people as soon as we're done. So yeah.
Well, myself and I'm sure everyone who's tuning in is very grateful for your time, Tracy, so thank you for doing this with us.
You're welcome.
Okay, so I might kick it off and ask you a question that was from a TikTok comment.
Okay.
Just while some of these questions roll in from our amazing viewers. So Tracy, do you have to remove all pacemakers, and if so, how do you do it?
Okay. So the pacemaker usually sits just in the chest area here. I have one here, I'll show you. This is a pacemaker here, okay? And this sits at the chest area, either side here. And we only remove pacemakers on bodies that are actually being cremated, because this is a battery and this is a risk to the cremating machine, the machine that actually you go into, because it explodes. And it has done a lot of damage to inside the cremator. So we have to remove these when we are having anybody that's been cremated. Now for burials, there's really no need to remove these for burials, but we often do remove them just before environmentally friendly, because they won't biodegrade. They'll just sit there forever. Once the body's decomposed and gone, this will still be there. So we do often just remove all pacemakers just so these aren't degrading in the ground. And to remove this, I just make a little incision with my scalpel blade just under the skin. It's sitting here, and I'm just going to get my magnet here. And what I do is I'll place a magnet on, and that turns it off if it's a defib. I know this is a pacemaker. Pop it out. When I pop it out, you can see it's already being cut. And just with my scissors and that, I will cut the wires, and then wires still stay there, but we've taken the battery out. So yeah, we do remove nearly all pacemakers.
So Tracy, how do you know that they have a pacemaker?
Well, when we prepare a body, we have paperwork. We have paperwork from the family telling us what they want to do, hair, makeup, dress, viewings, no viewings. And we also have what we call is a Form 9, which is the death certificate from the doctor, or coronial paperwork. And on that paperwork, it'll inform us there's a pacemaker or a defib. But sometimes that gets missed by the doctor and they don't put it on. So what we do with every single person we prepare, we check. As soon as we take the bags off, the covers off, and we start washing them, we just check manually by our hand. And I do have a one that, you know, when you're in the airport and they do that, check-in for anything, I have one of them ones that'll detect anything metal. So yeah, we check manually, and we also read all the paperwork to check if there's one on there. That's how we know.
Getting a few gifts coming in here.
Oh, thank you. That's awesome. Thank you very much.
And also just want to shout out Barraboy and Josh. Thank you for those gifts, and thank you for tuning in. I know we missed 4 weeks, but we are back, and we will be back on our regular schedule going forward.
Yes.
And we are so happy to be able to bring you guys these live streams again.
Yes.
And we are getting so many questions, Tracy.
Oh.
Just send a gift. There's a heart on your head right now.
Oh, that's lovely.
Someone said the bag behind you moved, Tracy.
No, it didn't. It didn't. It's probably the air conditioning. I've got the air. It's very hot here. It's summer and it's very hot. The aircon's blasting here, so it'll be moving everything. There's nobody moving. I guarantee there's nobody moving.
Okay. Wow. Look at all these gifts. Thank you so much, guys. Okay.
Thank
We'll
you.
kick it off with this question. Tracy, are people dressed when they are cremated?
It depends if the family want that. Okay, so what I say is we get the paperwork, and the funeral director does the arrangements with the family, and they fill a form out, which is a mortuary care form I receive, and it tells me that the family's requested hair to be done in a certain way, makeup if they want makeup or no makeup, shaven if they want the person shaved, and dressed if they want person dressed. Because a lot of the times people say just place them in a shroud. And a shroud is basically a white cover that we have here available for anybody that doesn't want to bring clothes in. So mostly, yes, people are dressed for cremations and family bring them in. And often we'll get people that just want to be shrouded. Or we do sometimes, and I even have one today, where they just want their person naked and just in the nappy and nothing else. So it depends what the family wants. So we'll do exactly what the family asks, but yes, often, yes.
Tracy, we currently have 260 people with us today.
Wow, hello.
Watching and asking questions.
Wow.
And I've seen this question coming quite a bit. I just wanted to firstly ask before we get to that question,
Yep.
who would like a quick little mortuary tour? If so, say yes in the chat, and we'll no doubt show you guys some stuff. But Tracy, we have some people asking, how do you become a mortician? They're saying they're in high school, they want to become a mortician in the future. How do they go about it? So maybe if you just want to touch on how you get into the position that you're in, and how you get into the industry.
Yeah, well, if you're in high school and everything, and you want to do this kind of work, maybe you've got a good interest in the biology and anatomy, which is always a good thing to have, because especially if you want to be a mortician or embalmer, going into that area of studying more biology and anatomy of the human body is really good. I'm not saying you have to be a doctor, because you don't. And what you need to do is go in. It's quite difficult to get in the funeral industry, and it's hard to say how to get in the funeral in the country you're in. Because in the USA, I know you have to go to mortuary school, so I would suggest you look into that if you're in America. Look into mortuary schools, Google it, check it all out, sign up ready for when you want to go and join the mortuary school. It's like going back to college, and it's another 3 years of mortuary school. That's how they do it in America. correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure that it is. In the UK and Australia here, it's kind of, you've got to get your foot in the door of a funeral home or a hospital. It depends what kind of mortuary you want to work in. Hospital mortuaries are totally different from here because they don't prepare bodies, they just look after them once they pass away in the hospital on the wards, and they just care for them until we come and take them out of their mortuary. But if you want to work where you're preparing a body for funerals, I suggest you just start looking for jobs in the funeral industry, doing transfers, helping out what we call FDAs, which is a funeral director's assistant. And that means you assist funeral directors, you assist on services, you assist on transfers of the deceased body. And that way you'll get exposed and educated more before going in the mortuary. It's very difficult just to walk into the mortuary without some experience. I was a hairdresser for 20 years, and then I went into pathology after that. So my combined skills has brought me where I am today. So even if you want to do hairdressing for a while, it's a great skill to have because you need hair and makeup skills, so stuff like that. But yeah, Google stuff. There's also, here in Australia, we have the AIA, which is the Australian Institute of Embalmers. Google that and see what they're saying. And we also have the BIA, which is British, but we have it here, which is the British Institute of Embalmers. Google them and have a look and see what it says on their website. There's lots of information out there. So that's how I suggest you do it.
Really well answered. So look guys, there's a lot of people tuning in and there's a lot of questions getting asked. We may not be able to get around to every single one today, but do go ahead and check out our TikTok channel, as we do have a lot of videos on the questions that I'm seeing getting asked today.
Yeah, we answer heaps.
We answer heaps. We have a lot of videos on there. I just want to take a moment to say thank you for everyone tuning in. We're now at 310 viewers. Tracy.
Hello.
All here to see you. All
Hello.
here to ask questions. And I think we will go with this one. This one is a very common question, but a very interesting question. And I think after this question, we might do a little mortuary tour and just have a look at some of the things that you use on a daily basis.
Yeah.
If that's what everybody wants. Okay, we're going to answer David's question here.
Hi, David.
So Tracy, what happens when a body isn't presentable, but they want an open casket?
I don't know what you mean by isn't presentable. Are you saying what? Because when everybody leaves this room, they're pretty much presentable. So
let's say it's someone who has suffered from extreme trauma damage.
Okay, so we've got a trauma case coming in. Okay, so what I do and my colleague is we actually specialise in reconstruction. So if I get anybody that's has a trauma case, so they've been in a bad accident, they've got facial injuries, or they've been decapitated, or the arms and the legs have been taken, you know, they've lost the limbs, things like that, I can reattach everything and I can rebuild. So we have a lot of artist skills, and I use a lot of art tools like any, you know, craft person does. We have latex, clay, all kinds of stuff you use in an art shop to rebuild heads and faces. And with photographs, I can actually make that body presentable and viewable for the service. If it's impossible to make a body presentable because the extent is so bad that there's just no way we can make that body viewable, we advise against that and have the body wrapped in a shroud, and have the coffin open but the body is wrapped in a shroud, because it's just going to be too horrific for people to see. So that conversation would be had with the family. But you know, not everybody normally goes out of here. As long as I can repair and we can do some reconstruction, viewable with an open coffin. Yeah. Thanks.
Okay, I think well answered, Tracy. We're now over 400 viewers. Wow.
Hello.
So all of our TikTok live streams from here on forward will be getting uploaded to YouTube. So if you do miss the tour, I have some people asking whether they don't want to miss the tour. They will be able to get followed up on YouTube. And while I'm on that topic, go and check it out. Show us some support over there. We also have Instagram and Facebook. So make sure to show us some support on all of our social medias. And without further ado, do we want to get into it and maybe show these viewers some stuff around the mortuary?
So what about, let's do this. Let's go in here. And let's see here. Let's get this here. So this is a trocar. Okay, you see it's got a very pointy end. It's got some small holes in a little vent here. So this trocar here, which is attached to a pump, okay? Okay, what happens with that is we'll make an incision into the tummy here area here with a scalpel blade. So I've got a little tiny hole. That sharp end goes in and we do what we call cavity aspirating. So basically what I'm doing is drawing out the fluid in the gas out of the body, because sometimes bodies get bloated with gas and fluid, and that needs taken out because that's accelerating decomposition. So what that does, it's a bit like having liposuction. It actually sucks everything out. So that's what that one does. And this one is exactly the same. It's a trocar again, but what we do is pop the bottle of chemical on there after I've finished, put it into the torso where I have already done the cavity aspirating, because now I've just moved the bacteria all over. So I have to slow down the decomposition, and that's an embalming chemical I would just pop in by gravity, by adding the bottle on here and popping it in to the body, and it flows in, and that chemical covers that hole inside where I've just been taking out the gas and the fluids. Now we have, let's have a look. Are you coming round? Let's have a look. So we've got my kidney dishes which have needles in. We have different style and shape needles for different things. I've even got a tiny little one there, which are small. And then we have the needle here, which we do the mouth suture with. So this is the one where I do what we call a mandibular suture. So that needle goes in under there, out of the mouth, in and then back round. And that's what we do with that. That's a daily tool, along with the forceps, the aneurysm hook, and these are our needle grips. So basically, that's what I hold my needle with. So that's a needle grip. And an aneurysm hook, we'll open the mouth with that. We'll do all kinds of stuff. When we're embalming, we'll open up the carotid with an aneurysm hook. And we have our forceps, which we use for cotton to clean the eyes and the mouth and all of that. So these are daily tools we use every single day. So that's what they are. Let's get rid of that.
People asking what all the stuff on these trays, these trolleys over here.
So these...
over 600 people, Tracy.
Hello! So these trolleys are trolleys that are full of our daily chemicals and cleaning products and disinfectants and moisturizers and sprays and cotton, you know, so, and makeup. So what these are, this is what we do. We'll have this next to the table when we're preparing a deceased body. We'll be cleaning the face, and everything's at hand on this tray, so it's easy accessible, and we've got things right next to us. So when I'm preparing a body, I'll be doing this, and I'm looking after, you know, so basically everything's at hand. I don't have to walk over there to the cupboard. I don't have to go to the cupboard over there. We put everything here next to us while we're working on the body. So that's what these are. So, and makeup after, and all kinds of stuff, and clinical waste. So that's what they are.
And Tracy, what's this fancy contraption hanging from the ceiling over here?
This is the hose that we wash the body with. So we'll turn that on and we'll hose it down and give the body a wash with a disinfectant body wash, shampoo, conditioner, and that's what that is. It's just a fancy hose, so it's up above our head because it's easy to use then, because we wash the body down that way. So that's what that is. And this here is, once the body's prepared, as you can see, the straps will basically go around the body. And this is, I shall show you what that will work. It's basically what we lift the body in and out of the coffin with. So that's what that is. Sorry, excuse me. Don't want to put anything on the poor man there.
People are asking, are these real people that we're caring for right now?
They are real people that we're caring for right now. So we have to be very respectful and not touch and do anything while we have these people waiting to be cared for, because they're waiting for me to finish all this, have my little break and get back to these people that are actually having services very soon. So yeah, we've got to be very respectful and not touch and not lean and not do any of that. And you know, and obviously we leave these people covered up because that's not what we're about, showing a deceased body, and that's not going to happen. But yeah, so yes, they are actually real people. Yeah.
I just wanted to take the moment. If anyone is curious about the lift that Tracy just showed us, the hoist, we do have a video on our YouTube channel and on TikTok that goes over that with a staff member who we actually lifted up to give you guys a proper demonstration.
We did, yeah.
And also the process of transferring a deceased person is also a video that we have on our YouTube and on our TikTok. So if you want to check out and learn about those sort of processes, then they are available for you guys to view. And Tracy, I'm just looking at the viewer count. We have just gotten over 1,000 viewers.
Wow,
over
hello.
1,000 people are here watching us, Tracy.
Hello.
Wanting to dig your brain and know what you know.
Wow.
So we will have to get back to answering their questions.
Yes, let's do it.
Okay, guys, I'm going through. I'm going to pick a question. So go ahead, ask away. So many coming.
So many? Too many?
Too many. Tracy, I might do this one.
Okay.
This might be a quick answer. Tracy, is there ever a smell that comes with working in the mortuary?
Okay, so technically not really when everybody... So people that die, say in a nursing home or at a home that are expected to die, somebody in palliative care or things like that, we get them into care probably the next day or that same day after they die, and there's actually no smell. There is a smell where a lot of people say, oh, I can smell death. It's not really a smell of death. It's just that there might be a bit of a smell around the mouth, and that's just bacteria because we've stopped breathing, we've stopped, you know, functioning, so there might be a tiny little smell. But normally there's no smell, there's nothing. It's quite clean. The only time we're going to have really bad smells is if we get trauma cases in, so we've got open bodies and we've got blood. If we have very decomposed bodies or slightly decomposed bodies, then we're going to have smells, and them smells can be really, really, really pretty awful. So they're the only times we're actually really going to have smells, but it's not an everyday occurrence. Most days it's like, you know, does it smell in here?
No, it doesn't.
No? Yeah, come round and tell everybody that. You've been in here for...
I actually done this on the last side stream. It does not smell.
Doesn't smell, does it?
It
you
does not.
walked in and you went, yeah, are you ready to do the line? I go, yeah. And you didn't say, oh, it's pungy or anything. There's no smell. It's very clean, as in, we're not clinical, as in sterile, as like a surgery is, because that's not what we are. We're very clean and clinically clean because we have to be, but it actually, there's no smell. So yeah, it's quite easy to work in here.
Very, very common misconception, that one, and a very commonly asked question.
I think it is, yeah.
Okay, going through. I'm wondering if I should ask you this question, or you might be sick of us answering this question.
Don't tell me it's the pregnant lady one.
No, it's paranormal.
The paranormal.
Yeah, so Tracy, we might go with it because I've seen the question quite a few times.
Okay.
So Tracy, have you ever had any experiences with the so-called paranormal?
Not really, no. There's nothing happens in here. I have seen things out the corner of my, outside this door, not actually in the mortuary, out there. There has been, what I think is somebody at the top of the stairs, because we have a staircase that leads into a room that's a storage room up there. That's quite spooky up there. It gets a bit of a feeling. Think I've seen things like that.
2,000 viewers, Tracy.
Wow, 2,000. I've seen things like that. Also, the doctors that we have coming in, one time I had a doctor hit there come in and check and sign our paperwork for the removal of pacemakers and things, and we were standing out there, and the doctor said to me, who's that at the top of the stairs? Is that a new starter? And there was only me and him in the building. So, you know, I didn't see that, but he did. So it's things like that. I have more of an energy feeling than actually seeing it. So, but we're all made of energy, so maybe that's it. But in here, I'd never feel it. But out there, I think maybe they're outside, respectfully outside, and in here I don't feel it. But I have felt some energies before.
Gosh, the chat is moving so quickly.
Oh,
So hard to
can't keep up, can't keep up.
catch a question.
Oh,
Looking through.
do we have heaps of questions?
So many questions. Look, guys, there are so many questions getting asked right now. So if we don't get around to your question today, which is highly likely with how many people we have tuning in here, then please do take the time to check out our TikTok. We have a vast amount of videos covering so many different questions and topics from you guys. So
yeah, you probably hear lots of noise. It's very busy outside. There's lots of people walking because we've got the door slightly open for the internet to work. So yeah,
okay, we're going to go with this question here, Tracy.
Okay.
So has any families ever requested eyes opened at a funeral? And if so, do the eyes ever change colour after passing?
Yeah, I have had requests of the eyes open at a funeral. We normally always close the eyes and the mouth for people's funerals and viewings and all of that because it's much nicer. And the reason because of that is because the eyes do change colour as well. The eyes actually go, they look like you have cataracts. And they basically go back to a bluey colour. We're born with blue eyes, nearly most of us are born with blue eyes, and then they change colour just after you're born. They kind of start doing that milky blue colour, and then they go to very milky colour, so they have this coating over the eye that looks like cataracts. And so it can be a bit confronting leaving the eyes open, you know, in that situation, so that we close the eyes. It's traditional, we close the eyes. Makes a person more peaceful and look asleep. And I have had a couple of requests for the eyes open, which is not a problem, as long as the eyes aren't sunk in. And if the eyes are sunk in, because that's a normal part of decomposition, I will inject the eyes with an embalming fluid that plumps up, so brings the eyeball back round. It will have the discoloration slightly, but I can leave the eyes open if requested, and family have been fine with that. So yeah, thanks for the question.
Okay, I'm going to ask you the question, Tracy, because it's unavoidable. It's asked far too often, so I really want the people asking it to get their answer. So Tracy, what happens with a pregnant lady?
Why is this question asked every single time? I don't know what you mean, what happens to it. So pregnant lady, okay, for one, if I get a deceased female in and they look fine and there's nothing on the paperwork about them being pregnant, but they could be weeks pregnant, 3 months pregnant or anything, but there's nothing shown, there's nothing I would know about that pregnancy, okay? If a person was to die or they had an accident and they were fully pregnant, that mother and child would go to the coroners first before coming to us. And at that point where the autopsies took place, the baby would be removed. Sometimes when it's just a tiny baby, they will put that baby back, but often they will put the baby in the arms of the mother and we'll get them in and care for them as separate people, but put them in the coffin together. That's what I do. Hope that answered that again. That is a common question.
It is a
very common.
Very common question.
Yeah, but I don't remove babies if you think. I don't remove them if we get them in because often I don't even know people are pregnant. Yeah.
Well answered, Tracy. And how many people are we caring for at the moment?
Oh, at the moment we're extremely busy. 10 yesterday, I think we've got another 10 today. So, you know, we're averaging 8 to 10 daily at the moment. So it is, and it is quite busy. And we have a season which starts September to February, although it's all the time these days. It's where we have suicide season, which unfortunately it's a higher prevalence of where people start to take their own lives at this time of year. And it's probably because it's Christmas and, you know, things happen over Christmas time, families and stuff like that. So unfortunately we do get a higher volume of people that have died from suicide, which is quite tragic, you know. So please talk to everybody. If you do feel like you need to speak to people and you do feel, oh, please go and speak to somebody. Your life is very important to us or everybody. You will be surprised how many people love and care for you when you think they don't. So please do that. If you do have any troubles, any traumas, please don't keep it hidden up. Just talk to somebody, you know. Please do that. Yeah.
Well said, Tracy. And I feel like that might roll into our next question, which I'm saying.
Okay.
Tracy, how does being a mortician impact your mental health?
Oh, yeah, well, it can be a struggle sometimes. Yeah, it can actually be very difficult some days, especially when you get trauma cases and things. But you've got to look at why people want to be in the industry and why we're here. And the one thing we're here for is to care for these people. And we're caring for these people so families can get their last goodbye. Families can, you know, have the opportunity to touch and feel their loved ones for the last time. And I deal with trauma and stuff like that. I do a lot of exercise. I'm a marathon runner and I like to go to the gym. I've just been on 4 weeks holiday, so don't judge me. I haven't been running on the gym for a while, so I will get back to it. So I find exercise is really good for me. So when I do a big run, I empty my brain and head of all of the trauma. And also here at McCartney Family Funerals, we have a good team of people where we can talk to each other. If there's anything that we are worried about or we can't cope, we can talk to each other. We have good like bounce off people, and we have good, you know, we have a company where we can go to for professional help also. So yeah, so I deal with it through exercise.
Okay, Tracy, would people have a post-mortem before hopping on a plane? So for a repatriation?
No, not really. Not unless their death was suspicious or anything like that. Not everybody has a post-mortem. Not everybody's autopsied. Most people that come into our care like from a hospital, a nursing home, or a residence. You know, nothing. There's only bodies that will be autopsied if it's sudden death, which was unexpected, if it was homicide, or if it's an accident, or sometimes suicide, depending what kind of suicide it was. Otherwise, no, we don't have many people. And I repatriate a lot of people to different countries, and they're definitely not autopsied or, you know, anything like that. So no, we don't need it. They have to be embalmed. That's the only thing to be repatriated, but that's it. So no.
So Tracy, do you ever talk to the people that you're caring for?
Every day. People think I'm crazy. Every day I talk to them. As soon as they come in, we like always respectfully say hello. And every day I walk into the fridge and I say, "Hi guys, I hope you've not been partying in the cold storage room last night while I wasn't here." And I also say, "I'm Tracy and I want to care for you today." So I introduce myself too. So it's about care and respect. And yes, I talk to them. I talk to them constantly, and nobody's answered me back yet.
Well, if they answer you back, that will sure be the day. Well,
Yeah.
Okay. So we're getting close to the end of our live stream, guys. We do want to let Tracy get back to her job. She has plenty to do. We are very busy. So Tracy, we'll do 2 more questions. How about that?
Yeah. Cool.
So 2 more questions.
Let's do it.
So ask away, guys.
Yes.
I'm going to pick 2
Give some
more
good questions.
Good questions.
Some good meaty questions. What are they?
And I just want to say again, if we do miss your question today, then please do not hesitate to check out our social medias.
Absolutely.
Where we have heaps and heaps of TikToks with Tracy and with Brian to answer some of these questions. So many. So I'm going to look through. I'm going to pick one.
Okay, what is a good one? Hope you're all having a great day wherever you are, everybody. Yeah, we've got a busy day. And the weather here sucks. Oh, storms. Summer season, it's stormy, it's oh.
Okay, we'll go with this one. So Tracy, what happens when the mouth is left open? I know it's usual that you guys close it, but what's the reason for it?
Well, the reason we close the mouth is, one, it looks nicer. You know, when people are having their viewings, you know, you don't want a body with the eyes and the mouth like this because it's just awful. 2, we've cleaning that area, we're getting rid of the bacteria, and there's a lot of bacteria, and because the body is decomposing, because that's what we're doing when we die, we're naturally breaking down. Also, that bacteria in the mouth, there will be a slight smell come out, so you don't want that mouth wide open and family having a viewing and having a little bit of a smell. And we need to close the mouth because it just sets the features properly. We need to keep the mouth closed and the eyes closed because 1, it's respectful, and 2, it makes the person look as if they're just asleep. And a lot of families need that, because when they've watched their loved one die in hospital or a nursing home, and they get quite traumatized by the fact that the mouth falls open and the eyes stay open, and it actually kind of upsets them. So when we do a normal prep, which includes this closing the eyes, cleaning the nose, cleaning the mouth, closing the mouth, cleaning the ears, washing and dressing, they look so much nicer, and the families just so much appreciate that. They haven't seen that horror of death to that more peaceful look. So yeah, that's mainly why we close the mouth.
Well answered, Tracy. Okay, so we're going to wrap this up with one final question.
Okay.
Thank everybody for tuning in and taking the time to watch us. We're so happy to be able to have the opportunity to do these live streams and deliver you guys sort of this education and an insight into what this industry is, because it is you know, left in the darkness quite a lot. There's not much you know, about it that you can find. So we are very privileged to be able to, you know, talk to wonderful people like Tracy and Brian to learn a bit more about what you guys do.
And there's no reason for it to be hidden behind closed doors, because hey, there's nothing to hide. There's nothing in the mortuary that's you know, people shouldn't know about, because for one thing that we do, we're a caretaker. We actually don't own these bodies. They don't belong to us. Family are giving us these bodies to care for. We actually have to respect that. We're caring for these people because a total stranger's asked us to do that. So it's always about care, respect and dignity, and there's nothing else. So there's nothing to hide. We don't have to go, oh, you don't want to go behind and know what goes on in a funeral home. It's like, oh, yeah, you get horror stories from the odd funeral home across the world. We know about that and we hear about that, and they're just the minority. Most of the funeral homes do a great job and care for people, and we're just here to let you know that it's not a scary place. It's not a horror place. It's actually a nice, calm, relaxing area, and it's a place where we can get the chance to care for somebody that's given into our care. So we're a caretaker, and we hope we do take care of everybody with respect and dignity, which we do at McCartney Family Funerals. You know, it is really, it's a privilege to actually give you this information also, because I think it has been in the dark too long. So yeah, that's why we are here.
That's exactly right. Okay, one final question here.
Yay.
So Tracy, what happens in the event of a murder? What's the process of caring for that person?
Okay, so say for instance somebody's been stabbed to death, all right? I'll just give an example, because there's lots of ways you can be murdered or die. So somebody's been stabbed to death, say they've been stabbed in the chest a few times. Obviously, when the incident's happened, it's got nothing to do with the funeral home at any point. That person is taken to the coroner's, where a pathologist will do their investigations with an autopsy to find out, you know, is there any more injuries? Was the stabbing actually the cause of death or something else? You know, they do all their preliminary tests, they do the autopsies. We do not do autopsies, we're not a coroner. Once that's all cleared and they're happy with their findings and all their paperwork's done and all their boxes are ticked, then the family will contact the funeral home to say, could you take care of my loved one? They come into care, and what we do, say there's a few stab wounds here, is us wash and prepare the body as normal, give them a wash, and if they're small, because you're surprisingly enough, the stab wounds are often usually very small and closed up, but they do need cleaning. So I disinfect that area, clean it, put some cauterin in, which is a chemical that dries out blood, seal it all up, putting what we call an embalming gel into that, which seals that wound up, and then suture the wounds and suture them up and put some little tape over them, dress the body and present them to the family, and they usually, you know, you can't see any evidence of anything like that. So that goes for any kind of murder. If it's a gunshot wound, we'll repair it. If it's, you know, being hit across the back of the head, we'll repair, and we'll, you know, the body will be cared for, put back together as best as possible so the family can have that viewing. So in a nutshell, small nutshell, that's basically what happens when we get somebody that has died from homicide. So yeah. So yay.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Tracy, for taking the time, and thank you for everybody for tuning in today. I want to say thank you to the returning viewers that have been with us from the start, like Baz, Barraboy, Josh, and everyone else for the names I can't remember off the top of my head. Thank you guys.
I wonder if Sean's there. Sean. Are you there, Sean? I was at a wedding in the UK just a few weeks ago, and Sean's my, I would say, cousin by marriage. Then we were chatting about the TikTok. So Sean, if you're there, hello. It was nice to catch up at the wedding.
Having a lot of people saying thank you for what you do, Tracy.
Thank you.
And your honesty and your compassion.
Oh, you're
which,
welcome.
It's truly beautiful. So thank you guys. People asking where we are. We're in Australia, Brisbane. We're McCartney Family Funerals. Tracy, super quickly before we go away, where are you from? Because that's also a very commonly asked question.
Yeah, I'm from County Durham in the northeast of England, and I've just visited there recently because I was there for a family wedding. So I'm not long been back. I was out there for a month. So yeah, it was damn cold, and I got caught in the snow, and my hire car nearly went in a ditch because it's a long time since I've driven in the snow. So that's where I'm from, the northeast of England. So yeah.
Okay, well, we'll wrap it up. Merry Christmas, everybody, and have a
Merry
wonderful
Christmas.
New Year's.
Yay.
It is Christmas next Wednesday, so we will not be live.
Oh yeah, it is. Is it next week?
It is, yes, next
Oh
week.
my goodness.
But Merry Christmas to everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Have a wonderful New Year. We'll no doubt see you guys in 2025.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Bye-bye.
Merry Christmas. Bye.